Assalamualaikum.
Hello? Are you there?
We are in Module 3, the process of enterprise architecting, with the topic of the architecture components and artifacts. This topic, we are focusing on the architecture components and artifacts. So EA components and artifact described are within the context of an EA framework, meaning that it is depending on the type of framework that is being used by the organization. So EA components are replaceable elements within the framework that come and go with changes in strategy, business services, and new design for resources involving information flows, applications, network, and other infrastructure. So EA components we call as plug and play changeable resources that provide capabilities at each level of the framework. EE components include strategic goals and initiatives, business services, information flows and data objects, information systems, web services, software applications, even a voice, data, video, mobile network, cable pans, equipment, and also buildings are example of EA components that are available. So an EA artifact is a documentation product such as text document, diagram, spreadsheet, briefing slides, or video clip. So EA artifact documents EE components in a consistent way across the entire architecture. EE framework provides an overall structure for modeling the enterprise's business and technology operating environment. EE components, the working elements of the framework at each level, while EE artifacts describe the EE components. For example, let's look at the home architecture analogy. So EE components are like the rooms of the house. Rooms can be added, remodeled, or taken away. So for example, like currently we have 1, 2, 3 rooms. So we can change some of the room. Then we can have, for example, like 4 rooms here. Right, so that's the example of the EA component. EA documentation are the description of each room and can include statements, stories, pictures, and also videos. For example, how do you know that this is a bedroom? Okay, because you can see there are bed right here. So you know that this is a bedroom. So that is an example of the EA artifacts. So in the last video, we have looked into the EA3 Cube framework. So in the EA3 Cube framework, we have also EA components. So there are vertical and also cross-cutting components. So firstly, we look at the vertical component. So vertical component is a changeable goal, process, program, or resource, for example, equipment, systems, data that serve one line of a business. Okay, so for example, like it is just like one slice vertical like that. So it is being used in one line of business, which is a distinct area of activity within the enterprise involved the manufacture of certain product, provision of service, or internal administrative function. While a horizontal, or we call it as cross-cutting components, is a changeable goal, process, program, or resource that serve several lines of businesses in the whole enterprise. So for example, this include email and administrative support system that serve the whole enterprise. For example, like HR serve all departments in the enterprise. So it doesn't serve only one department. So that's what we call as a horizontal component. So everyone in, for example, like everyone in the organization have their organization email. So the following are EA components at each level of the EA3 Cube framework. So we have EA components at the goals and initiative level, EA components at the product and service level. So we have EA components at the data and information level. So we are going to look this in detail later. And then we have EA components at the systems and applications level. And last but not least, EA components at the network and also infrastructure level. So at this level, how an enterprise uses data and information is documented. So EA component at this level include documentation on the design, function, and management of information systems, and then databases. We have knowledge warehouses and also data marts, but it also depending on the enterprise itself. If they have more components to be added, then it will expand or it will have more than what we have listed here. So we have looked into the components, which are knowledge warehouse, information systems, databases, data dictionary or object library. While EA artifact at the data and information level would be knowledge management plan, the object state transition diagram, object event sequence diagram, logical data model, physical data model, activity or entity CRUD matrix. So these artifacts are basically explaining the components that we have at the data and information level. So we will continue our topic in the next video.